you guys. How are you guys? Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Cindy. Hello, Rumple. Hey, Jordan and Sassy Nas. Sorry about the wait, and I'm sorry I was late. I was sitting here pulling up the press conference, and I went like this and put my head down, and I fell asleep. Look at oh, you can't even hardly see. There's like an imprint on my hand. I think yeah, you can see there. Exhausted. I'm exhausted every day. It's like I don't really ever sit down and take a second. My hair's looking all crazy. Never sit down and take a second. So, yeah, sorry about that. And then as soon as I woke up, went live, and then I went and peed and stuff while you guys were waiting. I'm sorry. But anyways, I definitely wanted to do a quick live and hang out with you guys. And last night I was kind of watching the press conference from Trezelle and Jacqueline's attorneys. So I thought, why not? Let's watch it together. So Megan, I've had keyboard imprints on my face. Chitty Chatty Meg. So they went missing December 21st of 2020. And the parents, we thought that the case had kind of went cold. There was nothing happening. Oh, there's makeup on my keyboard. Great. And the parents recently were arrested. So when they were arrested, we kind of found out a little bit of what they think may have happened from the arrest affidavit, which we found did mention, hey, Woofy, I fell asleep like this in front of my computer. My makeup's all over it. And anyways, so from the arrest affidavit, we found out that the boys the police believe that the parents forced a minor, and we assume that is one of their other children, thanks, Woofy, to help with the crime. So we still don't know where they are. They haven't been found, but we do know they have reason to believe that 3 months before they were reported missing, so September, is when they think it happened, and the kids may have helped. So now the attorneys came out in this press conference, and they just had attitude immediately. Wait until you guys see this. And they kind of said, well, you put out all this information, and then you ask for, because if you remember, they wanted a gag order. They mentioned at the last hearing, and the attorneys are like, okay, you come out with all this information, and then you want a gag order, so we can't even defend ourselves. So we wanted to do a press conference. So that's what's happening. I look crazy, y'all. I'm sorry. It is effed up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to watch the press conference and, together and see what you guys think. Why is all those, there we go. Oh, thank you, Woofy. I hate that I got makeup on my computer and stuff. I'll probably clean it while we're watching this. So, because I can't stand to sit here and look at it. But I hope it doesn't. Oh, yeah, and green hearts for Classic and Sincere. Because we do the blue for Gannon, we do purple for Summer. So we decided we want to do green for them. Hold on one second. All right, you guys, let's hope that this doesn't kick me off or anything, because I can't even wait. I'm OCD like that. I can't see a mess. Oh, thank you guys for the green in the chat. Hey, Mystic, and thank you so much, especially because I fell asleep. I was late starting my live. I fell asleep here at the computer. I got to get the makeup off of it. See? Hopefully this doesn't do anything to kick us off. Okay. Yeah. Ugh. Nasty. Okay. Now, we can continue. I don't have earrings in. That's it. I had my phone headphones in. And these are just like cheap little earbuds. I have a million earbuds, but I fall asleep in them and lose them all the time. So right now I'm only working with half of this one and half of another set. But one of my very, very awesome viewers is sending me a pair that they won for free at work, and they already have some, and they're Bose headphones. So I'm really excited. I'm not sleeping in those. Who is Wicca News? So, WCIA News. Okay, I've seen them maybe with some Summer Wells stuff. Possibly. I haven't got my earrings in again since X-rays. Yeah. I have 3 on the bottom, 1 up top, and only the bottom 2 really are not grown in. And my nose ring will never grow in. I got it pierced. I used to work at a hair salon with these 2 guys, Greg and Jimmy, and they pierced it with a nose gun, like the ear piercing gun in my nose. And it just, I don't know if it was too big or what, but it will never grow up. My bed eats headphones too. Why? Why does that happen? Necklace was a struggle to get back on myself. Girl, if you were closer, I could help you. Okay. So let's start this and we'll go from there. I love you guys. I'm so happy to see all of you like every day that I stream. Did you change your name, Rap View? Well, yeah, now it's just Rap. You're one of the people I'm happy to see. Single Mama 4, happy to see you. Dave G, Woofy, Muffin Top, Chitty Chatty Meg. Oh, French Fry. I haven't seen that name before. Yeah, it is a curtain, but it's pretty far back. It's it's maybe about 8 inches from the curtain. Yeah, these are some postcards I've received from viewers, a little card from Pink Dahlia, and Bentley's art. French fries. Yeah, I changed it. Always happy to see you. Hey, Cotton Candy Boobs. Happy to see you, girl. Chrissy, happy to see you. I missed you too, single mom. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this, and then we'll chat about it. One thing, if I use the Bose headphones for streaming, then I should be able to, I know, it was so nice. I'm so thankful. That was really cool of her to do, to send those. I'm going to wear them for streaming, and then there won't be an echo when we play videos because it's the mic picking up the video, and so you're hearing it through your screen and then also through my mic. I want to send you something. Let me think on what. Bose. Ooh, you fancy. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. I love you. I love you so much. If you guys are not subscribed to Stephanie, she has an incredible channel. Her daughter has had mental health issues and health issues, and they go through that together, and they've also are both into true crime. They've been to Delphi, and they talk about that. So, yeah, it's a really good channel. Yeah, someone sent those, Woofy. Yeah, a viewer messaged me and asked me if I was interested in them because they won them in a giveaway at work or something, and they already had a really good pair. So I'm in Kingsport, Tennessee. All right, I'm interested to look at the end if we have time. Let's look and see if we can find any updates on summer. Melinda, I'm so happy to hear. I love when you guys say that, and we love having you. I love it. Yeah, it makes me really happy. So thank you. I'm going back to Delphi in 2 weeks. Wow. Oh, Woofy, thank you. You're the best. Margaritas and palm trees. Woofy linked it right here. Oh, thank you, Muffin Top. I love cotton candy boobs. I want some. Thank you, sweet person. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Single mom, I love having you here. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. It'll be nice to not have to mute while watching some of these videos. It's weird, though, because there's times when people, you go through once a month. when people don't say anything about the echo. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Jordan, my son has Beats, and sorry you guys, I don't know what's going on. What in the world? Share screen. Okay, there we go. So my oldest has Beats, and his cord broke, and I ended up finding a cord that worked for him, and I will use them. I really love them too, but I'm not going to buy another pair. If he decides he doesn't want them anymore, I'll be happy to keep them. Oh, thank you, Single Mama, for it, and thank you, Nikki. You guys are awesome. Many of us are going to have a memorial walk for Libby and Abby on 3/26 at 1 p.m. Indiana time. Wow, Stephanie. Thank you for that. And Steph, are you going to do a video to advertise that or to talk about it? That way I can do something over here, too, to lead them to your video and to your walk. Hey, hello, Vicky. Always happy to see you. #/Jag. All right, Wolfie, we'll be here. Okay. I'm going to mute you guys so we can listen, and then I'll unmute. I don't think I really have to worry about fair use when it comes to these press conferences and stuff. A lot of times they're, you don't have to worry about it too much. But, oh no, they're expensive. My husband got mine on sale. Yeah, they are, but they're so soft. Do you use the earbuds or the headphones? Because Trenton has the headphones. Can I get more information on the walk? Was that what it's about? What? Hey, Not So Dumb Blonde. Thank you, Cammie. You guys are awesome, man. Yeah, Margaritas wants more information. How cool. Stephanie, is there somewhere they can go to get more info? You can put it in chat, and I'm going to mute so we can start this, and then I'll talk to you guys in a sec.
All right, we'll get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us here today. My name is Tim Hennessy. I'm lead counsel for Mr. Trezelle West. Associated counsel with me will be Joshua Fleshman. He's not present at this moment. Here with me also is Alexia Torres-Stallings. She represents Ms. Jacqueline West. And associated counsel for Ms. Jacqueline West will be Ms. Fatima Rodriguez, here present to my left. This will be the only time defense counsel will be addressing the media and making statements about the case until after the trial. We won't be answering any questions here today. We won't be discussing any facts of the case. Our clients...
If you are struggling to lose weight and secretly want to escape from the prison of fat, then
We've spoken to them about this. They're behind this. They understand our need to getting our side out. Last week, our clients, Mr. and Mrs. West, were arraigned on an indictment of 5 counts, including second-degree murder, and that came as a result of a grand jury convene. There's been great confusion we've seen about the difference here between a grand jury and a trial jury, and the two of those things could not be more different. First, the standard of proof is lower for a grand jury. They need to only determine probable cause, which is one of the lowest legal standards our system holds. They also do not require a unanimous vote by the jurors. The prosecution also has broad discretion in determining how to proceed and doing so by way of indictment. The grand jury process lacks a crucial and important role of our criminal justice system, and that is the accused and their counsel being present during. There is no opportunity to cross-examine any witnesses, and it is basically ran by the district attorney. This is to the detriment of the accused, as evidence of a speculative nature has a way of integrating itself into this most secretive of all legal proceedings. On the other hand, a trial by jury They must unanimously agree on the issue of guilt or not guilty. And there you have the highest standard of proof, which is beyond a reasonable doubt, and it is a proceeding done in open court.
Okay, so I want to say a couple things first. First, you can see here, First, you can see here, he is the attorney for Trezelle, and the woman pictured with him is the attorney helping the attorney with Jacqueline. He's talking about the difference between a grand jury and a trial by jury. But I do want to point out one really important part of this. So, a trial by jury happens before you are convicted of a crime, right? A grand jury happens just to be arrested for a crime so that you can have a trial by jury later on. The only reason that you only have to prove probable cause, well, you only have to do that for an arrest too, right? For an arrest warrant, you put the probable cause in the arrest affidavit, which, have they released that? I mean, I don't think so, but it's just like, yeah, grand jury makes sure there is enough to go to trial, and the trial is the trial by jury. So the whole point that he's making here in the beginning is kind of irrelevant. To me, it's just like, I don't know. Right off the gate, he just, I don't know. Another thing I want to say is these are public defenders, which doesn't matter. They are attorneys. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I always like to note and keep in the back of my mind, these guys get paid the same, no matter what. They're, whether you win or lose, they are paid by the state, and they don't make much compared to other attorneys. Yeah, they're not automatically guilty, and the reason the grand jury only needed to prove probable cause is because it was just an arrest. It's like, why are you sitting here differentiating between the two? You're just confusing people and playing a game of semantics. Oh, they're not public offenders. Okay. Wow, I didn't listen to the end, but I knew that I thought they said when they were arrested that they were the public defender's office. Oh, some program is paying for them. Okay. I knew that they were being their lawyers were not paid for by them. There we go. Because that was put in one of the last things that we read. That's interesting. But still, regardless, yeah, regardless, his attitude off the bat is just weird, and I don't know. I don't know. But let's keep going. Let me stop here. Yeah, a lawyer is a lawyer, no matter what. They should do. Absolutely. Hey, Pink Dahlia. I know, like Lori Valo, who got the lawyer who had never even done a felony case. I love how you say lawyer. How do you say it? Lawyer? I can't say that. I don't know. Lawyer. Someone was trying to figure out if they were the same lawyers in the courtroom. I haven't gone back and looked. Yeah, because I know when we first read about it, we read that they were, I thought they had attorneys from the public defender's office. Still, if a program is paying for them, I mean, like you said, a lawyer is a lawyer, but it's still, to keep in mind, I want to know all of these things. Keep it in perspective. Oh, and by the way, before I go back off camera, if you guys go to the Dollar General and you see these Peeps candies, they're marshmallow flavored candies, and oh my God, they are so freaking bomb.com. I'm not joking. I bought both of my kids a pack and bought me a pack. And that night I ended up eating most of theirs and hiding them and then going back and buying more. That's how good they are. Okay, Pink Dahlia, I sure will. We're paying for them. Hey, Melissa Jade. I thought you said a liar is a liar. Why do you say, oh my God? The pink candies? They are so, so good. Oh, and you guys, one last thing before I keep going. Me and Trenton and Bentley opened this Japanese candy today. Hold on. We ate a bunch of it, but I ordered on Amazon. It's like a variety pack of candy from Japan. I mean, and look, they have like M&Ms and like a medicine thing. They have we had a corn on the cob flavored wafer, and I don't know. These are they're kind of like Tic Tacs, the bottle, but they had some weird stuff, more medicine things. I don't know. It was fun to do. It was like $12 on Amazon. But okay, I'm gonna keep going. Sorry.
The state's comment and reliance on this "we have proved" to a grand jury is mere rhetoric. It's used as an insurance to bolster a lopsided indictment. Comments such as this have no place in an actual court of law, where it is 12 individuals who unanimously decide the outcome of this case based on this highest level of burden of proof, which is beyond a reasonable doubt. Statements that have been used by the Kern County District Attorney in her press conference tend to invoke a tidal wave of emotion towards finding guilt, whether substantiated or not, and this will taint a local jury pool.
The tidal wave of emotion probably comes from the two little boys who are missing, and their parents lied about where they are, and they did really sketchy interviews, which drew a lot of attention. They acted similar. The dad did similar things that Chris Watts did, which drew more attention because the Watts case was kind of blowing up. That's why people are emotional, bro. Come on. Yeah, he does, Janelle. The British candy from the important store, best chocolate. Thanks, Vicky. This is a press conference. Oren and Orson, or Classic and Sincere, their adoptive parents. It is their attorneys doing a press conference. Stephanie, if I had these attorneys representing me, I'd be very concerned. Well, he's a tidal wave of emotions. That's how I felt when no mention of the boys. Yes, Pink Dahlia. Yep. Come on, bro. You know what they say, if the doctor or lawyer look like they are still in high school, you're old. Okay.
And could deny our clients a chance at a fair trial. It's odd that the office held their press conference, made a series of comments which both mis- and disinformed the public, then the following day came and requested a gag order to stop the defense from having an ability to make similar comments. This action is disingenuous, but may also cause change for a change of venue in the future. This is an election year, and this case is serving as a compass to guide the DA to her path of re-election. However, it is now when the misleads in theater end and the constitutional protections begin.
Do y'all hear him? This is when the misleads and theater ends and constitutional protection begins. We get you're only concerned with your clients, but look here, the prosecution and the public are going to talk about this case, and when you have the opportunity to defend your clients, is going to be in the damn courtroom. Come on. I know, it makes me angry too. I'm sitting here like, that part made me so mad. His hand gestures are even making me angry. What in the Pink Dahlia, I don't have a new message from you. You check your messages. I messaged you last, I think. Okay. Hey, Lynn. How are you? How are you feeling, friend? I hope you're feeling okay. Okay. Or feeling better a little bit at least. Let's keep going.
The safeguards of the accused and the fight to preserve those for Trezelle and Jacqueline West begin now. And I thank you.
Buenas tardes a todos. Gracias por acompañarnos a nuestra conferencia de prensa conjunta. Primeramente, me gustaría comenzar presentando a los abogados. Timothy Hennessy, el abogado principal para señor West. Joshua Fleshman, abogado asociado con señor West. Y yo, Alexia Torres Stallings, abogada principal de la señora Jacqueline Martínez West. Fátima Rodríguez, abogada asociado de la señora West. Esta será la única vez que los abogados defensores se dirigirán a los medios de comunicación hasta después del final del juicio. No responderemos a ninguna pregunta hoy después de la conferencia. Tenga en cuenta que hemos hablado con nuestros clientes que están al tanto de la conferencia de hoy y tampoco discutiremos ninguno de los hechos relacionados con el caso.
I am 29 years old and I'm a metastatic breast cancer patient that was diagnosed 6.5 years ago. My breast cancer is spread to my sternum, spine, hip, and femur. My passion is
Comentarios como estos no tienen... Perdóname. La semana pasada, el señor y señora West fueron procesados por una acusación de 5 cargos, incluyendo asesinato en segundo grado como resultado de una reunión del gran jurado. Existe una gran confusión entre los dos jurados de juicio y los gran jurados, y los dos no podrían ser más diferentes. Primero, el estándar de prueba es más bajo para un gran jurado para determinar durante el procedimientos legales. Es pura en el verdadero del cargo mayor de emoción hacia a nuestros clientes de prensa, al público y a su abogado a casa para un caso de estrella norte. Las trampas about Grand Order West. Muchas gracias. Thank you everyone for being here today.
I know you guys can't talk about facts of the case, but can we ask you questions just about what it is that you said, just for further clarification?
About grand juries in
Yeah,
particular?
exactly. So, just
I do have to pause for just a minute and tell you, Punksy, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I so appreciate that. Hello, Wicked West Paranormal. Hey, Dazed. I saw another really good comment. Lynn has the flu. Me too, Muffin Top. I totally agree. Someone said they have to attack. Here we go. Amber's. Well, they have no defense, so they have to attack the prosecution. And kind of feels that way. It really does. Just watching it go down. Punksy, thank you again. I appreciate that. I hope you're feeling okay too. Everybody feeling bad? I don't know about that. So is that Jacqueline's lawyer? Because they said Jacqueline's lawyer was over there. It was a female. And I'm going to check the picture and see if it's either one of those while we finish listening.
for like the common layperson, you
Sure.
know, can you explain the difference between finding having probable cause in order to pass an indictment and beyond a reasonable doubt. Just could you explain that a little bit further?
I mean, generally speaking, yes, sir. So generally speaking, probable cause is the standard kind of being used day to day by law enforcement on whether or not to make an arrest, right?
Okay.
That is is there a problem?
Wait a minute. So he complained that you have to have only probable cause in a grand jury trial. But he just said probable cause is what officers do day to day when they make an arrest. That's all they were doing. The grand jury trial is just for the arrest. Dude, Thank you, Pink Dahlia. I love you to pieces. Thank you so much. Oh, what in the world? Janelle, have you watched it several times? That's funny. Okay. Didn't you tell me, aren't you the one who said, wait, their lawyer was paid for by someone? Because you've already watched it so many times. Okay. Like, dude, you complained, oh, grand jury trial is very different than a trial by jury because you only have to have probable cause versus blah, 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 burden of whatever the hell. I don't even know what he said. You guys heard it at the beginning, trying to differentiate between the two like it was such a big deal. And then now he says that's what officers use day to day to make an arrest. Well,
Probability something here happened. Okay. Beyond a reasonable doubt.
I forgot to mute. I'm sorry. Oh, is Rena here? Hey, Rena. How are you? Oh, I love your picture. I love your picture. That is so pretty. Well, I mean, when they make an arrest, like in the arrest affidavit, they just only include the probable cause, which is what made them come to the conclusion they needed to make an arrest. And then you have to build your case for the trial. Okay, Nikki. That's okay, Lynn. Like I said. Oh, that was sweet. I love that. Lynn, do not worry about modding and stuff, linking anything. We'll be all right today. You just listen, close your eyes and listen, or watch chat, but don't stress about it. I just want you to rest.
Doubt is like that probably happened, right? I mean that and I don't have my calculus in front of me, but it's the idea that that it is more probable than not that the guilt of this offense has been proven, right? The question is not should or not this person be arrested, and that's where we're at now. It was there enough for these charges to be brought? But the highest standard beyond a reasonable doubt. That's far off. That's so far from where we're at now. But because we hear jury, we hear grand jury, trial jury, there's this general sense to think, well, they must have proven this. This must have been proven beyond reasonable doubt. And that is not what happened. That is not what a grand jury is. A grand jury is a way to bring charges, much like how we have preliminary hearings all day, every day in the downtown courthouse. That's the same thing to get you in the same place.
Okay.
They're two wildly different things, a grand jury and a trial jury.
Will you have a prelim?
I didn't know if you wanted me to. Did you want me to answer that in Spanish as well? I don't know if you. Okay. So, la causa probable es el más abajo forma de los
So, hey, Shakes her fist. Good to see you. Checking convictions. No, says no grand jury makes sure there's a strong case for the state. No, at the grand jury or at any of these, first, they do want to of course, they want to show there's a strong case, but also they don't show everything. They only show enough that would prove probable cause to arrest because they want to save a lot for it than for the trial by jury. Although it is secretive and it won't, whatever happens in there, we won't even know about. But even the lawyer stated that that's all that they have to do at the grand jury or when you get an arrest affidavit and you first arrest someone. You don't give them your whole case. You've got to save some for the trial by jury. You usually just show, enough parts that show that there's probable cause to arrest. It is confusing. That's what I'm saying. That's the point. I don't like that. Yum, chips and salsa. But checking convictions, if you think you have a better way to explain it, then type it in chat or come up on panel, and I'll let you explain it if I'm not doing it in a job that, because it is confusing, but it's no different than if the judge decides. It's just a grand jury goes more in depth into the evidence, and there's more people. So, yeah. Hey, Tinky Tink. We could actually look up the definition, so we can be sure. Let me do that while we listen.
Sense of the timeline when you guys want to move forward with the trial? Or is it still up in the air depending on the information you guys are allotted?
That's difficult considering the stage we're at right now. As far as what we know and need to prepare for, I do know that our position as well as our clients is to be vindicated as soon as possible.
Where do you guys stand on the gag order tomorrow and why?
So I can answer that in English and then I'll go back. So we are going to be joining in the request for the gag order for a number of reasons. We do not want more misinformation to be spread before the jury trial. There has been very, very few number of cases that have had the opportunity to have a change of venue granted. I believe that there was one, not recently, but I believe that it came back on the Robert Mistriel trial, I believe was one of them. And so in order to ensure that our jury pool here isn't tainted, we are going to be joining on that gag order as well.
Okay, so I also not a fan of misinformation, but I'll read you what it says. Yeah, it keeps from preliminary hearing. It goes straight to trial. A grand jury, after the grand jury indictment, they go straight to trial instead of having the original hearing where then you have another hearing where you do pre-trial. It's a pre-trial hearing where they have to show some of the evidence they have. Then you have, so many different court things, but I'll read you this. So this is natlawreview.com. It's a website, but it says a grand jury indictment is the formal charging instrument used. This is talking about federal charges, but used by the U.S. Department of Justice to bring criminal charges against a defendant. Before prosecutors can bring an indictment, they must present their case to a grand jury. If the grand jury finds that there is probable cause to believe that the defendant committed the crimes in question, they will issue a true bill, which allows prosecutors to indict a defendant. It means the prosecution has already conducted its investigation and presented a case to the grand jury. Practically speaking, this puts you well behind the prosecution in terms of preparation. So yeah, they have already put together their case by this point because they know it goes straight to trial. They still only have to prove probable cause. If they show that there was probable cause that these people committed the crime, then that means they're going to go to court to find out. I don't know, me, but I wonder that too. I've wondered so many times, examines accusations against persons charged with crime, and if the evidence warrants, make formal charges on which the accused persons are later tried. So, and another thing I was going to tell you guys, it is the same attorney for her. So the female attorney is the one in the picture we saw at their hearing the other day. But the male is not in the photo. There's actually a woman with Trezelle. So dictionary.law.com says to bring an indictment, the grand jury will not find guilt, but only the probability that a crime was committed. The accused person did it and it quit loading. Well, shoot. It didn't load the rest. But anyways, we get the idea.
I'm Nick Nimmin, and I'm a StreamYard user. For the last 6 years, I've been live streaming consistently to YouTube and Facebook and everywhere else on the internet that would have me. And during that time, I've had...
¿Quiere que yo decir eso en español también? Okay. So, nosotros, yo nomás piensa uno de que...
No, there won't be a prelim because that is what the grand jury accomplished. So rather than proceed to prelim, it proceeded by way of grand jury, which is fine. It's an option, but it is to think that it is somehow superior or has proven more or means more, that's inaccurate.
When you guys say change of venue, could you just be a little bit more clear? What do you mean by that?
So if we go back to the trial that I cited earlier, that the incident took place here in Kern County, but the attorneys were able to prove in court that a significant portion of the people in Kern County were aware of the case and essentially argued that the jury pool would have already made up their mind had they decided to stay here. Again, these are not granted often, but it is something that we may be able to do considering the large amount of coverage that this case has garnered.
So basically, it would just be arguing it in a different district type of thing.
Right. Same trial, just in a different county.
Okay.
También para en español. So, en el orden para cambiar el sitio, no hay muchos casos aquí que so in viewing the press conference, I believe that she had indicated that they went the press conference route for some reasons that may have dealt with scheduling purposes. Although that can happen, there is also something that counsel can agree to in order to allow the prelim to be continuous. She did state that there were a lot of high-profile cases in which they have chosen to go by way of indictment. Between Mr. Hennessy and our law firm, we were thinking of a couple of our high-profile cases, and those ones have not gone by way of indictment.
What challenges does this sort of present to you guys? You mentioned you guys have had these kinds of high-profile cases, but what sort of barriers are you guys now presented with? I mean, obviously, there's the change in venue. Any other challenges that you guys are sort of facing and working through right now?
I would say in comparison to other cases, and I think one of the reasons why I wanted to speak today on behalf of Mr. West is the public's response to a lot of this has made it seem like it's a done deal. Like, why would you take this case? Why would you represent this person? He was found by this jury already. And to us, that's detrimental to the defense. That's like the fundamental purpose.
This part of the public never thought it was a done deal. This part of the public absolutely knew they were going to go to court and have a trial. I don't know what he's talking about, but that just is, I don't know. I'm majorly annoyed by these people. I will say, though, the woman is absolutely beautiful. She's really pretty. But, Humanimal, you're here. Hey, haven't seen you in a while. Both boys were murdered makes me think premeditated, but we have second-degree charges. As long as the prosecutors get it right and justice prevails, the boys need to be found. That's something that I really wonder myself. For both of them to happen at one time, wouldn't one have to be? But don't forget, in the indictment, oh my gosh, maybe that's why in the indictment, Orson's had an extra, did you guys see, Humanimal, did you see in the indictment there was an extra circumstance of aggravation in reference to Orson that said that it was done with professionalism and planning, professionalism, and something else. So is it possible that maybe it started as some sort of anger response, or I don't know, something, or maybe they didn't mean to take their lives, but once one of them had passed away and they knew the other one probably saw it or would know that they, I don't know. Is it possible that it happened like that? I mean, it's possible. I don't really know. Other arrests should be on the cards. Wanda West lied about seeing Sincere and Classic in November 2020. The last photo is from November 2019. Yep. And you know what? The prosecutor was asked, will there be any other arrest? And she said she can't comment on that. By the other children in direction from the parents. Well, that's what I assume. AV thinks they started with Orson. I have the indictment, Janelle. Do you want me to pull it up for you guys? She is gorgeous. She really is. Yeah, we'll pull it up. Let's get through this for just a minute. He said he is stopping his search for the boys. The boys are gone, like gone. Why? Huh. There was a huge fire at Wanda West's home around in the fall. We'll look at the indictment. Let's see what else they answer really quick, and then I'll pull it up so we can kind of do this factually.
The purpose of this is innocent until proven guilty, and people are telling me, hey, it's a done deal. We saw it on the news. We heard it. A jury found him guilty. They proved it to a jury already. And to us, that's the most detrimental thing, because this has to be a jury of people ready to sit, listen, do their job, hear the evidence, make a decision. And if the whole community already thinks that's a done deal, no one's going to show up to take this seriously, then we've lost already. And that is the point today, is to make it clear what it is that was done and what still has to be done before you want to convict our clients.
Mm-hmm. Y también cuando leer los comentarios de, por ejemplo, YouTube o de la media, también hay muchos comentarios que personas están diciendo que ellos están como...
If you did in a normal way, the normal trial, would you still take the case?
I'm so sorry, I didn't understand the
If they
question.
did it the normal way, that if you did a regular trial, like normally, would you guys still defend these people?
Yeah. Right. There's still innocent until proven guilty.
No,
And it doesn't matter if that's a grand jury putting charges or a holding order at a prelim. I'd have still taken the case. I just want the ground we're working with now for everyone to understand that we're in the same place had they been held to answer at a preliminary hearing.
Sí, porque es muy raro para hacer este tipo de audiencias. Es raro para hacer este tipo de audiencias, y también, like my counsel was saying, que ellos son inocentes ahora.
Can you guys confirm this case is being worked by you guys pro bono?
It is not. So we are appointed through the Indigent Defense Panel. That is a program that is run through the Kern County Bar Association. And so that is how we have been appointed to the case.
And you guys are requesting a change.
Okay, so that is what we heard when it first happened. They were the indigent, I can't say that word. Indigent. Indigenous, yeah, it basically means appointed. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you guys. the other foster kids. Meep, do you know that there's the two other foster kids who people have speculated are the two that were there before all this happened? Because, they had two foster kids, two of their own, and then Oren and Orson. There's rumors, and it's possible, even the mom has been on the news, that those two kids are lost in the system. I'm so thankful he never gave up, you guys. That is just so cool. I think we got to stop being so hard on other YouTubers and stuff. It is like a family here, Punksy, and I love you guys. Share, hello. We don't know. We don't know where they are. CPS won't comment. You would think that they would at least comment that they were okay, but yeah. Yes, I'm digging into that for sure too. I'm pissed. Dude, yes, I would love to see you covering this. All right, let's pull up the affidavit real quick so I can show you what I kind of mean. I'm going to stop screen share for just a second because I got to find it on Facebook. So, I want to show you how it has that extra circumstance of aggravation in the case of Orson. So you wonder, how could this have happened with two of them, right? Because when you just have one, you think maybe punishment went too far, maybe they were torturing them or something, didn't mean to take their lives, but with two of them, so this is maybe a possibility because let's see. Okay. Hey, kiddo. Public defenders and all rights, but for immigrant indigenous, whatever. I don't know. Say that again. Okay. So here is the affidavit, or the indictment. I'd like to see the arrest affidavit. I'm sure there's lots of information there, which I don't know. They probably don't have to do that with a grand jury trial because they're not giving it to a judge to make the decision. So, people of California versus Trezelle and Jacqueline. Is this out of order? So this is in the case of I don't see Orson. So first we see it is further alleged that the defendant Trezelle and Jacqueline induced a minor to commit or assist in the commission of the crime, which I think a lot of you guys already know that, but in case you don't, then this is important. Another circumstance and aggravation. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezelle and Jacqueline, threatened witnesses, unlawfully prevented or dissuaded witnesses from testifying, suborned perjury, or in any way illegally interfered with the judicial process. So they forced the minor to help, then they threatened a witness, then they took advantage of a position of trust, which Letitia Stalk, I recall that from her. She had a similar circumstance and aggravation. On or about September 1st through September 30th, Trezelle and Jacqueline did willfully harm or endanger Orson West, a human being. It is further alleged that Jacqueline and Trezelle committed a crime that involved great violence, threat of great bodily harm, or other acts of disclosing a high degree of cruelty, viciousness, and callousness. Then it is further that the victim, Orson West, was particularly vulnerable, and I do believe that's because of his age. This is the one that I'm telling you guys about that is not on the charge for Orrin. It is further alleged that the defendant, Trezelle West and Jacqueline West, that the manner the crime was carried out indicates planning, sophistication, or professionalism. So how was one done like that and one wasn't? What does that mean for how things went down? They took advantage of a position of trust. They falsely reported an emergency. Let's see if there's anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4. So Orrin, his circumstances of aggravation were Trezelle and Jacqueline. Wait a minute. Induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership or dominance of other participants in his commission. Is that on? Now I'm really curious. Is that on Orson's? So this is referring to Orson? No. And this is referring to Orson? So no. So on Orrin's, what? On Orrin's, a circumstance of aggravation that isn't on Orson's is Trezelle and Jacqueline induced others to participate in the commission of the crime or occupied a position of leadership or dominance of other participants in its commission. That's not on both? Okay, I gotta get what you guys think. Oh my gosh. Cher, thank you. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let me read through. They are protesting for proofs of life. I got an update on the other two boys. Cher, Steph, you want to come up for a minute? Or how do you want to do it? You want to do it on your channel? Let me know. Hey, Deco. Oh my God, you guys. Why is it different? What if they made Orson harm Orrin? Huh. It's possible. God. That is just so weird. That is Orson the 3-year-old. You will have to see somebody else in here knows. Do you guys know? Which one was the younger one? Yeah, one's older. Fatal alcohol syndrome. Ooh, I didn't know that. Or are you just basing it on the looks? I think that they both said they were particularly vulnerable. And I'm wondering if that's because they're both under 5. They have it on both about being vulnerable, or no? Okay, we got to pull this back up and double check something. Okay, I'm going to go to his actual post on the affidavit or on the indictment. And so first we'll be talking about Orrin. The first circumstance of aggravation is committed a crime that involved great violence, great bodily harm. Then he's particularly vulnerable. Then we have the inducing others to participate. They occupied a position of leadership. Then took advantage of a position of trust or confidence. That was Orrin. Orson's, we have the first we have the great bodily harm, then the particularly vulnerable. Okay, it is on both then. Orson's also says induced others to participate. It's just the only one that, okay, but it's the one about planning and sophistication is only on Orson's. So the one circumstance of aggravation about forcing others to participate in the commission is on both. I'm glad that I double checked that because we were looking at it in his photos rather than on the post. So it was kind of hard to go through in order. But for sure, this one is not on both children, only on Orson, with the indicates planning, sophistication, or professionalism. I do know that Trezelle is retired military. Then we have Orrin, particularly vulnerable, induced others to participate. Okay, wait. On threatened witnesses, is that on both? It doesn't look like it, at least as far as here. So here, there's one more page though, but this is Oren's. We don't see anything about threatening witnesses. We do see the inducing others to participate. Then this page is about Orson, and we hear about threatening the witnesses. Then we have, this one is Orson with the, yeah. So, So the threatening of witnesses isn't on Oren's too? It's kind of hard to keep it in order, but it doesn't. Let's see. Oren. Orson, there's the threatening of the witnesses. On Oren's, I don't see anything about threatening witnesses. There's the whole page. There's nothing on there about threatening witnesses. Oren West committed a crime. Yeah. There's nothing on Oren. There's Oren, nothing about threatening witnesses. There's Orson. Am I wrong? Do you guys see it on both pages? So Orson's mentions threatening witnesses and the other one doesn't. Do I need to go through this? I don't know. I don't want to overlook it, but you guys, I'm not seeing it. Do you guys see it? Hey, Jax. I read it from start to bottom the same. Checking convictions. Do you see threatening witnesses on both? Or is that only on Orson's? I know for sure it is only on Orson's about the planning and sophistication. Hey, Jax. I'm always multitasking too. Oh, you're so welcome. To me, it reads the same, both boys. So you don't see that on Orson's only about the planning and sophistication? I know for sure that's only on one. But the other day, I didn't notice anything else that was only on one. He was a witness to the crime, so they threatened him. This is unbelievable to me how foster parents can do this. I don't know, you guys. Hold on, I've got it. I wish there was another place I could read it because it's just so confusing the way he's got it here. So this is page, I wish there was page 2. Oren. Great violence, particularly vulnerable, position of leadership, and took advantage of a position of trust. So he not only occupied a position of leadership over other participants in the crime, but he also took advantage of a position of trust with the boys. Now, there's Orson's, which mentions great bodily harm, the leadership, the planning and sophistication. Orson was particularly vulnerable. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just trying to double check it. But yeah, I don't see the threatening of witnesses on both of them. It's only on Orson's. And the threatening of witnesses and the great bodily harm. This is Orson. Warren. Yeah, it's totally not there. Threatening of witnesses and the planning and professionalism. Uh-oh. There we go. Throw them in a pit. I agree. Throw them in a pit and lose some dogs. Oh, for Serenity, I don't think I've seen that. I think I don't know. I think I only seen that on Orson's. Wow. I didn't notice that the other day. I noticed the planning and professionalism, and I did not notice that on the threatening of witnesses. Wow. You guys, I think, man. Oh, when you just imagine what those little babies may have went through. It is so sad. Oh, the video's so sad. Maybe he wasn't going to hurt the oldest one. I don't know. I believe he probably threatened the kids that participated. People do suck. I just can't believe that. I don't know. That's just like really bummer. Like that just completely took my, I don't know. I mean, it's not always fun and it can mess with your mood looking into some of this stuff. Usually it doesn't for me because I kind of look at it like most people that don't like to do kids cases don't like to look into them. I'm totally opposite. I really love to do kids cases. I want to look into them. I want to be there to stand up for these kids. But then sometimes you have these moments where you just, like reality hits you and you realize what they may have went through and how things may have went down. And just like when I realized that that wasn't on both of them, I just kind of have all these things going through my head of what may have took place, and I don't know. Hold on. So I'm going to write this down so that I can try to look some more. I've got so much candy in my purse, y'all. Look, I got another Peeps thing for when I run out. A Nerds rope. I only bought one, so I had to hide it. Some of these. Another Peeps thing. I didn't realize I got so many. Oh. Bunch of lollipops. Another lollipop. Okay. Sorry, you guys. I just want to make sure that I write this down. Now I'm wondering where the heck I always keep a little book in my thing, and that's gone. What in the world? I guess I'll write it in this. Here's Dawn Wells' background check, and I only printed out half of it, but it's not just like crimes and stuff. We already went through it on here, but I don't know why I'm keeping it. Okay. So Orson And then we're going to look for some updates on this case. And I think we'll look for summer too. I always like to check. I know most of you guys are interested in that. I just want to write this down really quick so I don't forget it. So and professionalism. And then threatening witnesses. Ooh, I hope Cher does cover this. That would be really... I want to see other creators I'm used to watching cover it. Okay. The same state statutes are there is the same charges. Well, it's the same charges, but the thing is that is it the same state statutes for both? Tongue twister. Hey, Brittany. So the way it is the charge in itself that they have that are the same for each kid carries a certain amount of time, but those circumstance of aggravation can lengthen the time. So Orson has a couple extra. They may get a little more time for him than the other one. Do you want me to come up and give the update? Yeah, I would love that, Steph. Here, let me give you a link, girl. Stephanie's got an update on the other two boys that are missing in the system. So she's going to come up and give us an update. How awesome. Thank you, Steph. There's the link. Yeah, that would be awesome. I just eat gummies. What kind of gummies? I got all implants dental-wise, and I can't chew gum. Oh, wow. I have partial, so my back teeth are fake. And I can't chew gum either because it, like, pulls it down. Where are you going, or is this your personal stash? It's a personal stash. Because if I leave, I grab a few of my favorites and put them up. Because if I leave them out, they'll be gone. It's hard, but the true crime community is awesome. We support each other when those times. It is so hard. Absolutely. Oh, my girl. Here she is. But the true crime community is awesome. We support each other. Hello.
Hey, doll.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for coming up.
Oh, it's my pleasure. My pleasure. So, hi everybody in the chat. You want me just to start telling you what I know?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. First, let me say, though, if you guys weren't here and you didn't hear, Stephanie has an awesome channel where she talks about mental health. She talks about true crime. She's actually been to Delphi, and she's going back in a couple weeks. So please, if you're not subscribed, go over there and subscribe. She's an awesome person. She will see the good in everybody rather than watch. If she's the kind of person that you won't message her and hear her shit talking people. You'll message her and hear her talking good about even the worst people, because she can find something good in everybody. So she's an incredible human. Please go subscribe and support her. But okay, now you can go.
Thank you. That's so sweet. Sweet. I do try to find the best in everybody. Sometimes that's not always a good thing, I hear, but you know.
Do. No, I think it's a good thing. I do it too. I know it annoys some people, but for me, it's better than pointing out all the bad. I mean, there is good in it, in just about everybody. I mean, it's not like you're finding the best in Ted Bundy or anything. You're kind of, finding the best.
Ted Bundy had good things. He was a good-looking guy. That's a positive.
Oh, he was super good looking, smart. He was very smart.
See? We sound good. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to reference to I was watching on Saturday. This is from AV Watchman's show 1 hour and 21 minutes in. I wanted to make sure I had that. So I was giving him the credit because this is not from my research. This is from him, and he had on Miss Crenshaw. I don't know if you remember her. She covered the case in the beginning a lot. Okay.
Yep.
So when she first got the case, the first week, because she had mutual friends with Trezelle, she sent him a Facebook friend request before, and because they had mutual friends, he accepted her friend request.
Oh.
And so until he realized that who she was, she had gotten screenshots of the photos that he had on Facebook. Okay. So,
Ooh.
yes. So she said she was so glad she did that because when she had read, or when she saw the mom's interview of the other boys, she reached out to the mom, and the mom, she got kind of the backstory. She said, well, I don't know if I should say the kids' names because she knew what the other kids' names are. I don't know if you want me to say that on your.
I don't mind, whatever you want, Steph.
Okay, so she knew that there's two boys that would be what would have been her boys, which would have been Damien and Devin, and then I guess Trezelle and Jacqueline's kids are Adrian and Aiden, or another set of boys. I thought that they were actually their biological children, unless they're just another set of boys they have. So those are the other four that are involved during this time, during when the boys went missing.
Okay.
So she asked the mother, she sent him pictures of Damien and Devin, and asked if those were her kids because it had been 5 years. And she said, yep, that's them. And the mother wasn't asking for anybody to say, hey, where are my kids? She just wanted to say, I just want to know if my kids are alive. So apparently what we saw on the news had actually been filmed on February 2nd, around the 2nd, she said. And obviously, the news had to hold it because, as we all know now, that there was a grand jury going on. So I have notes. Okay, so because she went to the news then goes to CPS to get their side of the story. So she now lives in LA County, and CPS of Kern County went to LA County and took her other children because of her going to the news over this. So she lost her other children.
Oh my God.
Yes. So she found out her boys are alive, but she did lose her children.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
How is that okay? How is that flying?
I don't know if she wasn't supposed to have her children, or I don't know the specifics. I don't know, we'll never know because, we're not privy to that information. All I know is
so they are alive though.
But they are alive, and that is Damien and Devin.
Oh my God, Steph.
Now again, this is coming from Miss Crenshaw that was on that Saturday show of AV Watchmen's.
And 1 hour, 21 minutes in.
1 hour and 21 minutes in.
Now, I love that you gave that because when I'm looking into something and somebody tells me something, I want the source. I want to know where they got it so I can see for myself. A lot of people don't do that. So I love that you do that. That's important. And
well, I didn't want to call in and be like, hey, I was watching some channel and they said this, this, and this. No, I wanted to say that this is what I heard. This was on here and when it was said and all of that, so it could be backed up. Yep. I thought that was very interesting. And I don't know why her kids were taken. I know that they were taken at one time. I don't know if she was supposed to have these kids removed or what. But she was in LA County, and they came from her.
sometimes if they sign over their rights or something like that, they're able to have kids in the future. There's ways that they can, because a lot of times when you lose a kid, you're not allowed to have any kids in the future if they remove them, at least in West Virginia, and I think in Tennessee too. Let me say though, Wolfie, if you don't care, can you please save Brittany's channel and Stephanie's channel to the links group so that we can easily grab them and put them in chat? Oh man. Well, at least they're alive. But I mean, would you? Okay, let me ask you, Steph. If you were this woman and you see this about Trezelle and Jacqueline, you hear what's going on, would you go to the news?
I would probably have been beating down the door. Well, first of all, I wouldn't be losing my kid for anything. And if I had to lose my kid, if I was a bad mother, I have family that would have been able to take my kid. Unfortunately, this poor mother was in a bad situation. I mean, she didn't have, if you listen to the interview, the mother, her own parents were in prison for murder. So it's not like she,
wow.
If you listen to her interview, she said that she was a child of the state since she was 2 because her parents were in prison for murder. So it's not like she had much going on in the first place. I mean, for herself. I was watching the Chris Thorne show, and they went the night that this came out on the night that the news aired about this woman and her her husband. And on the Chris Thorne show, somebody had sent in a copy of her record, and there were some felonies on there, and one of them was child abuse. One of the same child abuse, exact same charges that Jacqueline and Trezelle had, but it seemed to be a hit and run with her kids in the car. Now, I don't know, just by looking, it had them not being in a safety belt, like in a car seat is what it was.
Oh.
Now I'm thinking there has to be more to, can you really lose your kids in California for your kids not being in a car seat? I mean, I hope not, because, I mean, I'm not a judge or anything, but I know people that don't have money for car seats, although anybody can have a car seat for free through the state. But I mean, I've seen people have to do that in emergencies. Like,
yeah. I wonder how old they were, because I've seen people just throw the kid, like emergency. Maybe your car seat's in your car and you're somewhere else and something happens and you and your baby got it. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't these days.
I know. And then you have the ones where, like that one case out, is it Washington that you were covering of a little girl?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And where they would have been so much better in that foster family. So, I mean, what do we do as a society? You don't get me started, we'll end up, that'll be a whole night, but
I don't know. It's a huge problem though. It's a huge problem. I just think there has to be a whole system overwrite and just do it all over again, or I don't know.
And I don't like blaming the CPS workers, because I worked with a CPS worker and she was explaining to me what it was like being a CPS worker. And she wasn't saying my job is so hard. It was, half the time they couldn't even find the kids or the family. They would move and move and move, and then they would never find them. And
well, they say the turnover rate is really high for those CPS workers. At least I know in West Virginia, they have the good people they get won't stay because the demands on them are so high. They're in and out of so many homes. They don't have enough workers for the amount of cases they have, and the good people leave, and you usually get stuck with the jerks or the assholes, and people are lazy, and then they overlook things, and they forget that these kids' lives are in their hands. If you are overwhelmed and you can't get some help, then something's got to give. But the kids' lives are in your hands. It's very serious. I get so annoyed with all these kids who have been in CPS custody and then, in a foster home, given back to the parents, and then they end up dead. Or foster parent kills them, or adoptive parent kills them. What the hell is going on here? These kids are supposed to be under your supervision. Ooh, it's frustrating, Steph.
And how do you know? How do you, as a CPS worker with a caseload of 60 kids, gonna know what's gonna happen tomorrow if somebody, one of your parents, lose their shit? Excuse my language, but and they're okay on Tuesday, but something happens on Friday. How do you? I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but we need to do something.
Yeah.
Because it's the same for parents as well as foster parents, but it's hard, I guess, for us, and maybe it's COVID stuff, but I would think it would be harder to murder your own flesh and blood. I can't even imagine even hurting any human being or animal or anything.
I know.
But to hurt a child, and let alone your own child, it's
well,
disgusting.
I remember hearing people talk about this when I was looking into Chris Watts. I think it was a psychologist who was saying that when you sit there and you try to imagine, but you actually can't. You cannot even imagine because your brain is not capable of doing these things. You know what I mean? It takes a certain kind of person with a certain issue, psychological issue or whatever, that's even capable of doing something so evil. We couldn't do it. I can't imagine it either.
You can't reason insanity with a sane brain.
Absolutely.
It's a brain thing. That's always my answer. It's a brain thing.
Humanimal says, Brittany, you should, before I read this, Brittany, I would, Pink Dahlia is going to be at that airport. That'd be so cool if she came on your channel or something. You guys should talk about it. But Humanimal says, I wonder if Damien and Devin's mother didn't have custody of her other children, but her mom did, or something like that. That would have been devastating. The other children that were removed, her parents were both in prison. Yep, you're right. She said, oh, that's right. Parents were both in prison.
Yeah.
See, I heard her mention she was raised like she was a child of the state, but I didn't hear the part about the murder and stuff, which that's really sad. But I can't believe her other kids were taken. What bullshit, man. So what does that mean? What does that tell you? That's weird. That's like some underhanded police involvement with CPS, some kind of corruption. I don't know. What do you think?
Nothing surprises me. I hope that through this case that these boys, really all of us have adopted these boys because they haven't had good parenting for most of their life. They went to the West, when they were, let's see, 1 and 2?
I don't even know. Yeah. I don't know.
Like 1 or 2. So the majority of their lives, they were living, they had no parenting, no love. And their love is outpoured from all of us now. I pray that love is able to, this sounds so corny, but I pray that all that love is able to find the corruption that is, whether it's Kern County or it's in all of CPS, all of these things that we're finding out through this case, that we're able to make a difference and make changes so this doesn't happen to somebody else. Because
I think
if we can save one more baby, I have to look at it that way, because this case was heart-wrenching. There was still a little bit of hope that they were going to be found, But when that indictment came out and it was said that the children were required to participate in this murder or these murders, I was dumbfounded. Like I didn't think it could get any worse.
I know, it was a real like emotional. I'm angry. I'm still angry, but now I'm kind of like, what the fuck? And it goes just so far and so wide with these other kids being taken, and just I don't know. The kids that were forced to participate and what kind of trauma they're going to have moving forward and for the rest of their lives. Let me ask you though, Steph, since you have covered or followed this so closely, well, one, are you going to cover it on your channel?
I did. That was the very first time Brittany and I ever did a live. We talked about, or the second episode, maybe it was the second episode, was the boys. And that case was probably the one that Brittany and I, Xavier Harrelson and this one were the two that kept Brittany and I on the edge, constantly wanting updates. And
well, I haven't seen your coverage of it. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, well, it was terrible because we didn't know what we were doing, but I wanted to do an update. And do you know that Brittany hasn't been able to emotionally be able to do an update? And that's why I haven't done. So I might have to do it myself.
Yeah, do it. If she can't do it, maybe you can do it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do it. I think that one is so close to home for her, because not close to home like we live there, but I mean like, because it was one of the ones we started. But you had mentioned about, and I don't want to go off on this change, but my daughter's health. We had amazing news, and there's not an expiration date for her now. They found a medication that that is for actual heart failure patients that they found for her disease process, and she had her first dose last night, and so.
Oh my God.
Yes.
So you guys, if you don't know, Stephanie basically thought she would be losing her daughter anytime. They told her that she would probably not live for.
She would live. They said that she would live till she was 28, and she's 26 now, and we found that out when she was 18. So we've been expecting this.
Oh my God, that is incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet you just feel.
I can't even tell you what it's like to for the past 8 years, I have prepared my heart for losing my child, and I'm not going to lose my child. Whoa. My child can live a normal life. Like, she can now possibly get her driver's license, like all these things that she hasn't been able to walk in a grocery store by her, like with us, without a cart or anything, because of passing out. And
I'm crying too.
I'm sorry. I don't know how. We're talking about Brittany.
Tears. It's happy tears.
It's amazing. It is a blessing, and she deserves it because she's helping other people
too.
Oh, thank you. I was just a mom. I did the best that I could to help her get where she was, and I just kept fighting. Like, I wouldn't take no for an answer. And here we are. And we met a specialist that is world renowned, and now we are just beyond blessed.
Yeah, it is. That's why we're a little family here, because we cry together, and I'm so happy for her and her daughter too. I cannot. Tears of joy for you. Wow.
Thank you.
Awesome. Because I can't imagine, like thinking that I'm going to lose my babies. And
she's having like a hard time, like switching, like she's in therapy for the mental health piece. And now she's like, because for so long I've been like this sick person, and I've not been able to do things. I never thought I'd be able to go to college or maybe get married or anything. She's like, and now like I can do whatever I want to do. Yep. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Well, I remember when you told me that she wasn't going to live, very long. I mean, I didn't know how you were even making it. And then, seeing her on there, she was just so, I don't know, I didn't ever
Positive attitude.
Yeah, positive attitude. You never got that from her. Watching her and watching you guys, I knew, but you never got it from watching you. Oh my God, that is incredible.
God is good. That's prayer and positive thinking. Positive thinking.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Oh my gosh.
You didn't upset me. It's awesome.
I was trying to explain of how that it's been hard for her to do this case because we just had all this great things happen, and it's just been really emotional around here. So
I love you as a friend too, and I care about you, and I just think, oh my God, what a fucking blessing to you. What a weight off your back.
Oh, it's amazing. Now I'm like, shoot, is she like going to be a wild child now? I'm just kidding.
Because we're overwhelmed and so happy for you guys. Me and Lynn are both like super emotional too. We've talked about it before. We feel everything so deeply, and just, oh yeah, good tears. Awesome, Steph. Okay, so let me go back to the case because I want to ask you. I had a question on my brain for you. What do you think about hello, Amber. We are a little family over here. What do you think about the fact that Orson has this aggravation, circumstance of aggravation that Orrin doesn't, that says that two of them. So Orson has two. We realize that tonight. One is the fact that there was planning, professionalism, and that, but now we see that the threatening of the other people involved is only on Orson's indictment, the indictment for Orson. So what do you think about that?
So, like, are they trying to say that Orson was threatened to hurt someone else?
I don't know.
Orrin or one of the other siblings?
Well, I feel like it's saying in the indictment, which is on the murder of Orson. So
Okay,
no, I don't think it would be saying that Orson did it. I guess it would be saying that in the crime of Orson's death, someone was threatened. The person that was involved and forced to participate, one of the participants was threatened. And then it also says that my brain just quit working. Oh, look, that was one of the best things I've heard all week. I'm going to pull it up if I can find it on here because I think I still have it up. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad our little testimony it's a big testimony for us, was able to bless you two being mama.
I mean, what a huge freaking deal.
It's a huge deal. I mean, trying to still wrap my brain around it because I've been living my life for 8 years for some other way, and now it's my daughter's gonna live. I'm sorry. Okay, well, we gotta stay on Orson. I can't.
It's incredible, so don't even worry about it. You go back to it anytime you need. You are a mom who thought you might lose your child, and that is like the biggest deal ever. So, okay. So on Orson's, it says that Trezelle and Jacqueline threatened witnesses, unlawfully prevented or dissuaded witnesses from testifying, and suborned perjury or in any illegal way interfered with judicial process. And then the other one is, so they threatened witnesses, and then there was planning, sophistication, or professionalism within the meaning of California Rules of Court. So planning and threatening on Orson's only, and that is in the murder of Orson West, a human being. So a circumstance of aggravation would have to do with his murder.
Where is that attorney that's on duty Ron all the time? We need him. You know who I'm talking about?
I don't watch him a lot, but I need to because you and Amber Truth Seeker both are always referencing his videos when we're talking about these cases. So I need to watch him more.
Roe's going to be on his on there tonight at 8. His the boy's cousin.
Mm.
Roro, they call her. She's the cousin of the boys. So she's been the one kind of outside. Joe Murray. Yep, that's it, Cammie. Joe Murray. He's an attorney in New York, and he's been, when they were doing the when the indictment came out, he was explaining it. But that's only on Oran's. Is that what you said? Only on
Yeah, I got a
Oran's.
mouthful. Sorry. What time is that tonight?
8 p.m.
Oh, I gotta see that. So yeah, here is Oren, which doesn't have the threatening or the professionalism. Here's Orson's, and here is first we have the planning sophistication. So this is the circumstance of aggravation on the murder charge for Orson West, Trezelle, and Jacqueline. There was it indicates planning, sophistication, or professionalism. And then Orson. So then also there is Trezelle and Jacqueline threatened witnesses, unlawfully prevented or dissuaded witnesses from testifying.
So that makes me think they did know that there was a grand jury going out. Or, well, I guess not. Maybe that meant
From
testifying.
going to police in the first place, or interfered with it, or in any way interfered with the judicial process.
So that could even be just giving their statement when the crime happened.
Very weird. I don't know what to make of it. I honestly don't. The professionalism and planning, that's so, I don't know.
I haven't heard of a lot of grand jury, but I'm amazed that it hadn't gotten leaked out. Like when she said it had been like 3 months that this has been going on, and what, 60 or 50 witnesses? Yeah, I was dumbfounded that it hadn't got leaked by anybody.
Well, I know in the case of Lori Valo and Chad Daybell, we knew it actually got leaked. Now, we didn't know exactly what. We just knew a grand jury was convening, and it was about Chad and Lori. We didn't know what charges, what they would be, because a grand jury could be convened over any charge. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. I
thought they had a prelim. I didn't think they had a grand jury.
They did, but in Arizona, I think it was that the grand jury. Let me look it up. They were talking about grand jury, and I think in Arizona. Let me look real fast. I'll just Google grand jury Lori Valo and pop up. Maybe it was Arizona charges. Oh, Punksy, thank you for the cash app. So a grand jury in Arizona has indicted Lori Valo on the charge of conspiracy. Yeah, that's how she got her indictment for the murder of Charles Valo, the Arizona charge. It was a grand jury. It was
grand jury. Oh, okay. Oh, Charles Valo.
Yeah, and I feel like maybe they questioned if it was going to be happening again for something else, but I don't know if it did. I don't think that. Yeah,
I'd love to go over the Alex Cox stuff. This is not obviously the live, but
I would too. I'm very interested in that. Oh my gosh!
I know.
Hey, TCA.
TA, I didn't know you were in here. Hello, love.
I'm sitting here eating my candy.
I didn't mean to take over your live. I just wanted to share what I had learned on that live that day, which I found very, very interesting.
No. You didn't. Sorry, I have a mouthful.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
I love that you came up here and did that. And I'm so thankful to hear about all of the good news and everything. So, yeah, you didn't take over anything in a bad way. I didn't have plans to do anything else after the press conference. I was kind of just going to chit chat and hop off here. But I did want to see what you thought about those extra aggravations. Yeah.
I don't know. That's interesting. I mean, there has to be something. There's so much speculation. And then I don't know if you saw in chat that, or I think you did see it, that during today, was it today or last night's live, AV Watchman had said, well, backing up, he kept saying he's still going to look for the boys, because they haven't been found. And then last night he had said, I'm not going to be looking for the boys. They're gone. They're gone. You guys know what I mean? I can't say too much, but you know what I mean? And I was just like, what? Like, he's always been, he's going to find them. He's going to find them. And for him to say that last night, I was really shocked, because he kept, even when the indictment came out, he's like, well, I don't have proof that they're gone. Like, we don't know for sure. He wasn't ready to.
Wow. That makes me wonder. I don't know, which I also wonder about that fire, So.
But the fire, I don't think they could have burnt the bodies. And because I learned a lot about, like, when my stepfather, he was cremated when he passed in September. And they say that it's harder to cremate, like it takes longer to cremate a smaller person, children, and that fatter people, sounds terrible, but they, because my stepfather was a bigger guy, they cremate faster because the fat on the body almost acts almost like a grease.
Oh, wow. That makes sense.
Faster. Yep. And that it takes like 6 hours at 3,000 degrees. And to get, I can't imagine it being 3,000 degrees in a small house fire, because it wasn't like it burnt the whole house down. So
well, that's why they buried charred parts of my brain, Tylee, because
yes.
they didn't expect that it would be significant.
Right. What did Pink Dahlia say? I was asked Stepha, could it because they disposed of the bodies in a way that can't be found? That's what I was thinking, Pink Dahlia. I don't know. I mean, I've been thinking of all different kinds of thoughts. Like, I know when they moved, that what if it went to like one of those big dump, if they had disposed of the bodies, maybe in like what are those called, where it comes to your house, and like when you're moving and you like throw like trash in it, and do you know what I'm saying? Where you can, I don't know if they have that in West Virginia, but like we have them here where they come outside your house. Like if you have a lot of stuff, and they will park it outside your house, and it's like a big dumpster, and you can get rid of a lot of stuff. Well, before they could even like notice, it could have gone through like 4 families or 5 families, you know what I mean? And gone out to the local sanitation site. And, I mean, I'm just trying to think of different things that
possibilities. Yeah,
because I'm thinking, because they had moved at that time. I honestly, all the things that looking back at the case, I can remember the chief of California City, Chief Walker, saying, we're not getting a cent at all, any cent of the boys there. And all these things that I'm looking back now and I'm thinking it all makes sense, them never seeing a scent, having a scent, and the neighbors saying they never have seen those boys there. And it all makes sense now that they were never there. I just can't believe that you could, um, again, like you said, we can't wrap our brains around
I
that.
think that's part of what makes it so fascinated, right? Because it's like the mystery, the questions.
The questions. Yep. Normally I want to know, but I want these SOBs nailed so badly. I'll wait forever if that means they go down.
Yep. Me too. I mean, just seeing them in court. Oh my God, the anger. It's like Letitia Stalk. I cannot wait for the day
Yes.
when I get to see her face and they say that she will be locked in jail for the rest of her life. Because
I did not follow that case.
Stephanie. Oh my
as much
God.
as my daughter did. I know, because I think I think it was her evil presence. It scared me so badly.
She totally did. Matter of fact, look at this. Letitia Stalk. Hundred did a video about her eyes in this video where or in this court.
Yes. Oh, just
so
look at
creepy.
that.
Mm-hmm.
There is an evil presence around that woman.
I'm gonna see if we can pull up any photos here. Let's see. You can't really tell there. Here somebody has Chris Watts, Megan Boswell, Letitia Stalk. Yeah, they're all pretty disgustingly evil people. I'll pull up her video real quick because it's like in the first seconds. I remember watching it. Ooh, look at her. Oh my God.
What's Gannon's mom's name? His real mother. Landon is his mom's name.
Yeah, and she's awesome. She has a TikTok where she talks openly about, she won't do a lot of details about the case. She told me that she would love to do that after court, but she talks openly about going to court and what she's going through emotionally and memories of Gannon and stuff. She has a really good TikTok. Let me see.
Len, I remember them in the it was like the first 2 weeks.
Plunder. Go ahead, I'm muting it.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say that, Lynn, that I remember that woman saying that they were moving there to get off the grid to Cal City. That was their reasoning of moving there.
I remember that too. And it's like, it was the woman that talked to 10 to Life, right? To Annie,
yeah, that's
from
what she's
10 to
talking
Life.
about.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm not using the sound on this, Steph. I was just going to pull it up and let us watch her in like the video of it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Look at her. See? She freaks me out.
The way she's looking, yeah.
And I work with psych patients, but that is like an evil spirit looking.
I think she might, oh my God.
Like a possession.
Yeah, she looks like she really might be possessed. The way her eyes kind of.
See? Oh my gosh. Heaven's sakes.
You should, you need to do some labs. Do on this case, you could look into Gannon's case, but I mean on this case, Orrin and Orson, of course. And then maybe you guys can kind of talk about what's happening in your labs right now.
You think people want to hear about that?
I do.
Really?
Yes, you just told us, and me and 5 of the chat was crying with you. You could do it on a show about something else. And TCA, if you didn't, you should, right before you came in, she shared some incredible news. See, yes, people want to hear, 100% agree. people want to hear. They want to know. You guys have had quite the journey. So Stephanie thought her daughter had a terminal illness, and they found a medication that will help her. She will be able to live now. And so it's big news and a big deal. So yeah, I think people want to hear.
Okay, well, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll do it. I think that's great. I'll
Yes.
kind of go through I'll do like our journey.
Yeah, that would be so awesome. I would
Yep.
love that. Gosh, you guys, imagine the people you could help too,
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And that we, for all these years, what it's that we thought that this was it. This was the doom. This, 8 years that we've thought this way, and it's been. We had our appointment with that doctor. Well, it was the nurse practitioner of the world-renowned cardiologist. That was not this past Thursday, but the Thursday before. And she goes, "Honey, you don't have an expiration date."
oh my God.
And my daughter's like, "What?" Like she couldn't. We both would just looked at each other, and then we just cried, and it was just we couldn't
Oh my
wrap our
God.
brains around it.
Well, I
And
wonder how that's going to emotionally impact her. I know you guys have part of your journey, and you've been open about it, has been kind of the struggles of emotional ups and downs and stress and, just a lot of, mental health stuff. I wonder if that will, I mean, she's got to feel like incredible. I can't imagine how she must feel now. Like she's been given her life back. Oh,
yes, she has. I said, and I'm like, "Honey, you need to think big." Like she's like, "Well, maybe I could do this." I'm like, "Maybe you can do whatever you want. Like think big. You know, you now have a chance of living this amazing life. Don't think of, oh, I can just kind of maybe do this. No, you can do whatever you want.
yep,
Ever.
absolutely.
The sky is the limit for you, kid."
And please tell her this, because I tell my kids this too. You, nobody can stop you but you. If you want something in life, if you go for it and don't give up, keep going. You may not think you're going to get there. There may be moments where you just, there's ups and downs, right, in everybody's life, but don't give up. The only person that can stop her is her. If she wants to be a doctor, she can be a doctor. Just don't give up. A lawyer, if she wants to have her, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, and I try to tell my kids that too, to make them realize, hey, if you want it, you can get it. You got to go for it. You're going to have to work for it. It's just like with YouTube. It's not easy. There's ups and downs. Sometimes your channel will have more viewers. Sometimes it won't. And you're going to have, issues, and sometimes moments will be really good, but it's work. You got to stick to it and you will get there. You'll get there. And that's what I got to tell myself too, Oh, look, Sassy Nas. I would like to hear also. We told our daughter had CF and didn't think she would make it out of childhood. For a year, we prepared to lose our baby. She was 4 weeks when diagnosed. It was a false diagnosis. Oh my God.
Oh, Sassy. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I mean, in my mind, this is just what it was. I mean, it wasn't going to change. I mean, when people would be like, "Oh, you don't know," I would get mad. I'd be like, "No, please don't say that." Because when people would say that, I was like, I need to prepare my heart when, I can't get my hopes up. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that day just changed everything. It was just, it's still trying to wrap my head around it.
And one day you might be Grandma Steph.
Oh God, no.
You never know. Hey, the possibilities are endless. Eventually, one day.
Hey, let's just work on getting through physical therapy. That's what I told her. I go, let's do physical therapy, and then we can work on a driver's license, and then we can fill out college applications now, and
we'll talk about this in 20 years.
Yes, let's do that. Yeah, let's do one thing at a time.
That's funny. Oh, how wonderful, Steph. I'm so happy you came up here. And I'm happy to look forward to you covering the case. And thank you for sending me the indictment the other day, too.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. It's awesome.
And thank you all that have subbed to my channel. I really appreciate that. That was so kind of all of you, and I look forward to having you guys. You can hear the whole story, how it started, the week of Thanksgiving when she was 18. It was
Oh, wow.
2013, 2013 or 2014. I can't remember.
And Stephanie is also an RN, so she has a
LPN.
ton. A what?
LPN.
An
LPN.
LPN. She has
Yes.
she's a nurse, and she has a ton of experience and has worked in rehab facilities. She's been on here before a few times, and once we talked quite a lot about addiction. I mean, she has so much knowledge and love and stuff to offer. Your channel is definitely a good landing place.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I just hope I can be a blessing to others. That's what I was sent here to this earth for, just to bless others.
And
That's what.
yeah, and you are. You definitely do. You bless, like, think about it. Think about the true crime community and the trauma community. You can have one person who's like really negative, and it just can destroy or like turn so much time in the whole community into chaos, and so think about the impact of one really positive and kind and awesome person. Wicked West Paranormal, they're linking it. Hopefully they'll link it again here in a second in the chat. But yeah, think about the impact that a positive person has on the community and on the world. And also, Steph, look, okay, my video with Allison about Harry, it was actually like the live that I had the least viewers I've ever had. I think there was 20 in here, and it has not been viewed that many times. As it is, that makes some people care so much about some cases, and then other cases they just don't care to even listen to. But it's like if the case isn't juicy enough, or they don't listen. But anyways, a couple hundred people seen that video. That's it. And do you believe that I had people in the comments? So one person in the comments owned a diving business and is going to be diving in the local ponds and stuff to search for him. So it makes a difference, just little bits. Yeah. She messaged and was like, I live really close to here, and I connected her with Allison and the family and stuff. And yeah, she's going to be diving to try to help look for him. But I'm like, wow, couple hundred people, least viewed video that I've had like during the live, and it still could make a difference,
Hey, if I can help one parent out there that has a child with mental illness, or my kid had diabetes. It does have diabetes, but that was a nightmare with mental illness growing up. But if she can help somebody, a child with mental illness, or even she's an adult now, she's 26, but an adult going through mental illness, my channel has been worth it 100%. But I that's why we built our channel. Why we started our channel is because when Brittany was 10, she was diagnosed with major depression with psychosis when she was 8. And so when she was 10, we're like, oh, let's write a novel. We'll write a novel or a autobiography from a parental point of view, raising a child with mental illness. And she's like, and I'll write it from the child's point of view of having mental illness. And I've looked back now, I'm like, we're not going to write a book. I hadn't even gone to college yet.
Oh, how cute.
And that's why we started our channel, because now we have YouTube, and that's how the whole channel was even started. It wasn't even going to be about true crime, but we had such a love for true crime, and we bond over true crime. So the true crime just kind of came with it. Yeah.
So do you guys watch like true crime documentaries, true crime like stuff like that on TV together and stuff too?
All the time. And we always have with my mom. I mean, but once I found YouTube, well, when it was Chris Watts, we watched a lot of Chris Watts. I was obsessed with AD. Okay, don't get mad at me in the chat, by the way. And so we'd watch AD. I was like, waited for every anything he said, like, oh, there's going to be something something major tonight, Brittany. And she'd be like, okay, Mom, I'll be in your room at 5:00. And she'd come
Oh
in,
my
you know.
gosh.
It was like a date every night at 5:00 and oh my gosh, looking back and
Oh,
we
how
laugh
funny.
about it now. We're like, look how far we've come.
That's what brought me too. I was like super obsessed with true crime my entire life. I mean, I used to watch HLN, like Nancy Grace and
Yeah.
Casey Anthony and the Hannah Graham disappearance and different things. And Forensic Files was like my lullaby every night. And lost my train of thought. I was gonna say, oh yeah, and then Chris Watts happened, the Chris Watts case, and then I came to YouTube, and now YouTube is my lullaby.
You know who
Hey,
I
Stacey
fall
Lynn, who are you? What do you mean no one's mad at you, girl? We've been there. We've been there.
She's talking about when I was talking about AD, that we used to watch AD every night. Archer.
It's funny because it's true,
I
because I've
know.
been there too.
Oh my gosh. I would to
Hey,
go to
Stacey
sleep.
Lynn, welcome. Go ahead.
Oh gosh, she's one of my, I love her. I have a mind blank. Cher would always call her mama.
Oh yes.
Oh,
She has the real country accent, Unjustified.
yes, Unjustified. So I used to listen to her to go to sleep at night. I would listen to her read the Chris Watts Discovery. And she had like such a soothing, calming voice reading the Discovery. And I look back now and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was actually falling asleep to Chris Watts Discovery. Like, how morbid am I?
Hey, I did the same, or the Nicole Kessinger interviews, like falling asleep to those.
To listen to that.
Because they're so long. Like
They
some of
are.
them are so long.
They are.
Thank you, Pink Dahlia. Steph is beautiful. You're beautiful on the outside, but you're beautiful on the inside, which makes you on the outside even more beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Girl, that's how I feel about you. You have a heart of
Thank
gold.
you.
You're here to help people too. You have an amazing spirit about you. You glow from the outside, you glow from the inside.
Oh, thank you so much. Speaking of that, Neighbors Next Door. Oh my God, on ID, the Neighbors show.
I used to watch that.
Me too. Last week I had two people. I will never say who they are. This is always strictly confidential. But I had one person who's like kind of, I know a little more than the other, but both of them I know from being in my chat. But I had two people reach out to me. One said, I've been watching your addiction series and I'm going to rehab. I've decided I'm going to rehab. I know. And the other one said, because of you and listening to you be so open and honest, I've realized that I want to live, and I can't live on this many Xanaxes and alcohol a day. And I appreciate you for that. Like I'm crying because it's crazy. Like when you get these messages and it's just like,
that
how
is
incredible.
You probably saved someone's life. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's why there's no better feeling than helping somebody. And I can't imagine doing anything else. I mean, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I just can't see myself being happy being an engineer or something like that. Like, I just love people and I want to help them. And you actually saved a life. And when I've saved a life, there's no other feeling like it.
It's crazy. Well, yeah, you've probably saved a lot being a nurse, but just to hear that, I'm just like, oh my God, if I could, now I'm going to make more addiction videos. I've even been thinking about like doing one on character, like, how with addiction, they have to take like a moral inventory and kind of realize the flaws of their character, which we all have, even if you're not in addiction. But yeah, it meant a lot to me. Like I said, one of the people I know a little more than the other, and both of them touched my heart so much. It just like I don't know, but especially especially the one that I know a little more. I just, it means a lot to me. So,
Oh, I think
I
that's
don't know.
amazing. That is, I mean, that's a testimony. That is a
Maybe one day
testimony.
some will come chat about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
You
you,
never know where life takes you and the journeys that you end up with people,
I
and
know.
you know how your lives are going to cross.
And people think that you don't really find real friendship. Like, it's just YouTube. But I've found like some of the most meaningful, incredible relationships on here. All of you guys really like my chat. A lot of people that come to my chat, especially the ones that are my friends I chat with also offline, like on Messenger and stuff. Like, I feel like you're all my real friends. Very, like, I love
Yeah.
you guys. So I don't know why people say that. Actually, I feel way better about the friendships I have now than say I did in my active addiction or whatever,
Right. Oh,
So
I've made some deep friendships on YouTube. And I've
yeah,
heard people say never trust anybody you meet on YouTube. And I thought, boy, that's a terrible way to think, that because you can really miss out on some really amazing people.
absolutely. I
I
love
guess
you
it
too, Woofy.
I think that in I looking now, that some of those people that said that were kind of some people that had some sour um personality, like had not just the personality, toxic, I guess,
Yeah,
for
I
my
know what
life.
you mean.
You know what I mean? So not all of them. Some of them just had bad experiences, but um I was, I was like, oh my gosh, like I consider you my friend or whatever. But now looking back at some of those, because they're people that, I knew like a year ago or so, I think that was probably best that we ended up not pursuing friendship past what we did, because that was probably divine intervention, keeping that from happening, saving me from turmoil.
Yeah, for more heartache and trouble down the
Yes.
road.
Yep.
um,
Exactly.
Charlotte, you are amazing, and Lynn, you are appreciated and loved. I love you guys. No, I'm not upset. What did I say? What did I do?
I
I
love
don't.
being part of this community. It's an amazing community.
I know it really is, and I'm glad you're part of it, and I'm glad. I'm happy to, guide people to your channel, to Allison from TCA's channel, to some of
Yes.
these really positive and awesome creators who, that deserve so much attention. I don't know. I just think I could think of so many creators that deserve,
Yes.
bigger platforms and more. Sound like you were crying. Oh no, I'm just happy because I love you guys. That's all. I've been crying, but I'm okay. I'm not crying sad tears. I'm just crying happy tears because Stephanie's daughter. Oh, and then the couple people who had reached out to me, and then just you guys in here. Just yeah.
I'm so glad to see Allison. I haven't seen her in so long.
I know. Yeah, happiness. I know. Allison's been going through it too. Oh my God. She's got, both of her parents are sick. Her dad's been very, very sick. They've had a whole lot of trouble and a lot of stuff. Then her best friend in the world is terminal and maybe has a week or a couple weeks to live. And
Oh,
Allison has been caring for her and spending daylight till dark with her pretty much.
oh my gosh, Allison, I'm going to say more prayers for you.
Yeah, she's definitely going through it. We really miss you and love you so much.
Well, I will stop taking up all your time, and thank you so much for having me up. And I will definitely make a live with Brittany, and we'll tell our journey from where we've come to where we're at today, and hopefully where we're headed, or we don't even know where we're headed, I guess. But
Yeah,
we'll,
that'll be awesome.
as the
I
world
can't wait
turns.
to watch it, and I'll share it so I make sure that I can send as many people there as I can.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming up. I love you to pieces. I'm happy to hear
I
about
love you
Brittany,
too.
and thank you for the information too. And always good to chat with you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Your chat is amazing. Well, they're my family too, so I love them
Yeah, you're
all.
part of the family. Your channel, my channel, we're all part of this little family over here.
Absolutely. All right, doll. Love you, and you have a blessed day or night now,
I
I
love
guess.
you. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Okay, honey. Okay. Bye.
Wow, what an awesome person. What an awesome little chat. Thank you, Stacy Lynn. I so appreciate that. And welcome. It's good to see you here. Um, my tie-dyes, I need to get, I gotta, I need to get to work because I got quite a lot to do. But I'm waiting on, well, I have a huge order I need to do, but that I can't even start on until I get a package. But I have some things I could be doing that I'm not doing. And I have a bunch that, yeah, that, let me see. I think I have a couple pulled up. This one right here, I'm so close to keeping this one because I really like it. Van Halen, I don't know. I just like band t-shirts, and then something about I don't know. So, anyways, I'm going to hop off here, you guys. I didn't even mean to stay on this long. I just wanted to chat with Stephanie once she came up here. And yeah, let me read a couple of your comments and then I'm going to go. Addiction affects the entire family, not just the one suffering. Absolutely. Being a parent of an addict is the hardest parenting thing I've ever dealt with. Well, you know what? I will have six years off of benzos and opiates, both, because I had 2 DOCs, not just one. I did both of them every day in August. And I can tell you, me and my parents, oh my gosh, we're like best friends now, and they trust me fully, which took a couple years. But the hell I put them through is something that eats me alive with guilt to this day. Sometimes when I lay down in bed at night, that is what I think about. And I can tell you that now, being on the other side of it and having someone that I would like for them to get clean and they won't, and there's nothing I can do about it, I believe addiction may be harder on the sober person than the addict, because the addict gets to live in, this fantasy world of like everything's okay, when the sober person, the family member, has to suffer and watch everything and be aware, actually really aware of what's happening. There is a place where you can go. It's kind of like NA, but it's for the members of the family of the addict. It's like the family members of the addict or friends of the addict. It's a support group for the support of an addict, for the people that support an addict. And it's called Nar-Anon. And they also have one called Al-Anon. So Al-Anon is for alcoholics and Nar-Anon is for narcotics. But yeah, it'd be really good. Maybe if you can find one in your area, you could find some people kind of going through what you're going through or something like that. I had some people ask why I'm so drawn to this community, and they hit home when Rev Donna said might be some PSD. I have a lot of PSD and some murders on both sides of my families. Oh wow, Rumple, I'm sorry to hear that. Really sorry to hear that. Thank you, Stacy Lynn. Get your alley swag on. Okay, Duty Ron is live about this. I'm gonna go so we can go watch it. I do want to watch. Oh, I'm so glad you're finally chatting. Yeah, it's awesome. All right, I'm gonna hop off here. I could talk forever and ever and ever and ever. With you guys, but I'm gonna go so we can watch something else. But I love you guys, and I'll see you in a day or two. If there's any, oh, she's in recovery. Oh my God, thank the Lord. That's so awesome that she's in recovery. Oh, thank you, Janet. All right, guys. For real now, I'm going to go. I love you guys so much. /Jag, #/Jag. I am working on trying to get a /Jag shirt made. I tried to do like a drawing of it, and I couldn't get the background to be transparent where it wouldn't be written in like a box on a t-shirt. So I have reached out to an artist and asked if I could pay them, like I asked one of their friends to ask them if I could pay them to create some kind of graphic for a shirt or something. So we will see. We don't have the option of giving the baby back after 6 years. It would destroy him. Oh my goodness. So my daughter is, wait, so do you have her baby? He's currently in the process of having to leave my husband for his addiction. He just refused all the help in the world. Well, you know what? I'm glad that you're finally leaving, because this is my advice. Do not ever, if there's an addict in your life who is stealing from you, hurting you, unless it's your kid, you have to just move on with your life. You cannot allow, because there's nothing that you can do to change them. And if they're not going to change, all you're going to do is be putting yourself in a shitty situation and hurting yourself more. So I think that when it comes to that, you have to go. That's awesome, though, that because it's really hard to finally realize that that's what you need to do. It takes a lot out of a person. We've had him since birth. Oh my goodness. That is so awesome of you, though, to take him. Oh my, but he's still in the family. He could be lost to assault. Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow, that's incredible of you. We'll talk about it more in the future, maybe. Maybe you could come chat about it some more, because I'd love to hear about it. But I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Have an awesome night, okay? Bye.